I'm just over here looking at some interviews, trying to see who might pop up in this motherfucker for a quick ass second with your boy Jersey Rich. Yeah. Bang, 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 bang. Let's see these are about the tension. I didn't know that. I didn't know there was tension with Atlanta.
Like they wanted me and Puff to not like each other. Like it wasn't even about music. It was like
Hey, Miss
me and
Shawanda Williams.
like New York.
I'm over here listening to the Jermaine Dupri interview.
We used to know. Listen, this is what I mean. Like we, like
How
Atlanta.
you doing, Mr.
That kept
Williams?
bringing
How
each
you
other.
doing?
I was on Clubhouse
I'm just
during the
checking this
pandemic.
out
I was
right
the
here.
only New York in that chat with like 21 Savage and all them. And they embraced me. They welcomed me in the chat. You know what I'm saying? But in the chat, we talking about a chat, y'all. I always had to stand on business with New
So
York because
hold
they be
on.
throwing shots. I'm like,
So
yo,
right
they like,
now
yo,
I'm
you a
looking
cruiser
at
here?
the.
I'm like,
Let
yo,
me, let me
yeah, come
pause
on
this
in
real
here. What's up,
fast.
man?
So right now looking at your Jermaine Dupri speaks on tension between Atlanta rappers and New York rappers. How you doing, Mr. Wanda Williams? How you doing? To be honest, I did not know that there's ever tension with New York and Atlanta rappers. I did not know that. I'm doing good. I'm doing blessed. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Blessed to have you here. Blessed to have y'all here. Hey, love, baby, how you doing? Yeah, I'm just over here cooling. I'm over here checking out some of these, Jermaine Dupri. A lot of these rappers and Ja Rule just did an interview. The clips. A lot of these old rappers are coming back out. Talking and doing a lot of interviews lately. So I've been catching up on some of these old interviews on on the. Well, I'm watching the Bag Fool right now. The Bag Few. Um, with Jermaine Dupri right now. And I didn't even know that Atlanta rappers and New York rappers had tension. It's something that I never even knew. And I grew up listening to both. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm from Jersey, from the East Coast, but I do respect Atlanta rappers. I did not know that there's ever really tension between them. So I'm over here checking out this interview with Jermaine Dupri on Bag View right now. So that's what I'm checking out. Maybe get some people's opinions on it. You know what I mean? Hold on. Trying to get some people's opinions on it. Hold on.
We're
That's
Phoenix Energy, a
that's
family.
different. He talking about the beef.
Bad fuel, baby. JD was doing it at a high level from early on, man. Did y'all knew Puff was gonna be standing on top of the garden like that? Nah, yeah, we was trying to. That's what I'm saying. Like I talk about this all the time.
How
I didn't
y'all
want to put
doing?
Puff on that song because everybody kept. This was way before verses. And they just kept always trying to put me and Puff against each other. But I put Puff
Who
near
y'all got,
parties.
motherfucker? Who y'all got when it come to music? Hold on, I keep hitting that. Who y'all got when it come to music? Bad Boy or So Def? I know, Love Baby. You in New York.
Bad fuel, baby. JD was doing it at a high level from early.
Who y'all got when it comes to music? Who got the most hits? I know a lot of people been talking about this for years. Who got the more hits? Bad Boy or So Def? And everybody know, I write music a little bit, and I always been a big fan of, you know, Chris Cross, Bow Wow, The Brat. You feel me? This is all artists that Jermaine Dupri wrote for. So when it comes to writing game and hits, hands down, even though I'm from the East Coast, or whatever, I gotta get that shit to Jermaine Dupri. You know what I mean? He wrote for Mariah, Usher. He wrote Usher's biggest hits, some of Mariah's biggest hits. You know what I mean? Escape. It's just a lot of artists that he wrote for that you wouldn't think he wrote for. You know what I mean? Diddy, and Diddy got his own problems, but Diddy, he's more like he's somebody that will put the songs together and put the beat behind you and shit like that, give you a topic to talk about. Jermaine Dupri would be the one that write the music for you. So it's a big difference.
Yo, man. Did y'all knew Puff was gonna be standing on top of the garden like that? Nah, yeah, we was trying to. That's what I'm saying. Like I talk about this all the time. The reason we put Puff
Everybody hit
last,
that like button. You know
everybody
what I
kept.
mean?
This was way before
Talking about
verses.
Jermaine Dupri, tensions with Atlanta rappers and New York rappers. And I, like I said, I never knew that there was tension between them both. I never knew that. Let me know if you knew that there was any beef. Yeah, we all know about the East Coast, West Coast beef, but Atlanta rappers and New York rappers, I never really knew that there was any kind of problems. You know what I mean? Let me know if you knew that there was any kind of problems between Atlanta rappers and New York rappers. I did some Janet Jackson songs too. Yep, he did some Janet Jacksons. He did a lot of songs that he don't even like talk about. But if you want to go into like music catalogs, yeah, stay tuned to my short videos. Cause I'm gonna be dropping some social deaf shit too. Check out my short videos. I just dropped some BB King. I'm going 60s, 70s right now. You know what I mean? I'm in the old school vibe right now. But I'm gonna get on to my early 90s, early 2000s hip hop swag too.
Always trying to put me and Puff against each other. But me and Puff we throw parties, we hanging out, whatever.
Oh boy, talking about they throw parties. What kind of parties? What kind of parties, Jermaine Dupri? You gotta be careful with your words, you know, with this whole Diddy case going on. All that, even though Diddy ain't on no RICO charge, but all that, you can't even put Party and Diddy together right now. You know what I mean? Don't put Party and Diddy together right now. You think you're gonna say first thing gonna say, oh yeah, me and Diddy, you know, we threw parties together. Hold up, pause, pause. You know, everybody gonna be like, pause. Hey yo,
Being from Atlanta and the South not really all the way doing what it's supposed to be doing. So always wanted to know, like, I run with, I with niggas from New York. Like, I did a song with Jay, and y'all keep trying to make me and Puff, like, they wanted me and Puff to not like each other. Like, it wasn't even
I
about
wonder
music.
why that was, and I never really knew that. Like I said, this is the reason why I'm playing this interview specifically right now because I never knew that there was an Atlanta New York beef. Never did.
It was like, Atlanta don't like New York, man. Yeah, huh? Atlanta don't really like New York. God, yeah, man.
Oh, he's starting the beef. Clue had trying to start. He trying to reunite some beef. Well, Atlanta niggas don't fuck with New York niggas. Like all I can say is the South been running hip hop for a while now. You know, the hip hop when it comes to New York, that shit died down like early 2000s with that 50 Cent era, Fat Joe. The one that was about to make shit hot was Pop Smoke, and he ended up getting killed. Yeah, we got Albie out from Jersey. You know, Fetty Wap, but Fetty Wap locked up, and there's a story behind Fetty Wap that you guys might get soon. You know what I mean? Like Fetty Wap just happened to be related to me. There's some shit that I'm just finding out. So when he get out of jail, there's a good possibility, you know, maybe I might get a Fetty Wap interview. You never know. I mean, let me see what happens.
We used to know. Listen, this is what I mean. Like Atlanta got a chip on
I
each
keep
other.
telling y'all, keep
I was
rocking with
on
my
Clubhouse
page.
during pandemic.
Keep rocking with my page, y'all. You never know who I might bring up. You already know I did the interview with a couple artists, but like on this page, I did if anybody missed it, I did the you know Spider from Black Ink. You know what I mean? That's one interview that's still out on the page. If you want to check it out, just go do my like the stroll and check out the interview I did with Spider from Black Ink.
The only New
That's
York
my bro right there.
in that chat with like 21 Savage and all them. And they embraced me. They welcomed me in the chat. You know what I'm saying? But in the chat, we talking about the chat, right, y'all. I always had to stand on business with New York because they be throwing shots. I'm like, yo, they be like, yo, you a Clue's in here. I'm like, yo, yeah, Clue is in here. What's up? Like, you gotta think like
Put your favorite if y'all fuck with Jermaine Dupri, what's your favorite Jermaine Dupri artist that he worked with?
This is it. The federal government's just coming out with.
So this is how I'm gonna be running my lives a little bit similar to this. So, if I don't have this, I'm gonna have a backdrop. You know what I mean? So I got little things I'm gonna be doing with my lives a little bit. You know what I mean? So stay tuned. Definitely check out my short videos. But right now we just having a little conversation about this Atlanta tension with New York,
with less money down than ever before.
or just the East Coast in general, whatever you want to call it.
What's up, it's playful conversation. No, but if somebody would like really paid attention to my career, right? And I'm saying like God rest his soul, but when K Slade, when I brought out Bone Crusher and the Young Bloods, right? And when I was living in New York, I was running doing Arista, and we was running around, I had a street team and all that. I remember like then K Slade told the street team, like, if one of y'all bring one more of these Southern records over here, I'm gonna kill y'all. And he smashed, and he smashed the nigga. He smashed the nigga. I put this on everything.
I'm
And
gonna
he
say
smashed
something.
right?
What?
And
Okay,
I
Slay did
swear to
that
God,
shit?
Hold on.
he smashed the Young Bloods record, and I just feel like
Yo, he said K Slay smashed the Young Bloods record. See, well, that's how you're gonna start some beef then, because then people from the South, if that happened, right? And he said it did happen, right? When they come to the East Coast from down south, right? They're gonna feel like they not respected, because you know how it was back in the day, right? You know how it was back in the day. You had to get approval from New York to be considered a hot artist, especially if you come from like down south. Down south wasn't popping like that when it come to music, so you really had to be put on New York radio to be put on. And you had to get that stamp from New York, because you gotta understand, like, New York is still like the mecca of hip hop. So if you didn't get that stamp from New York, people wasn't fucking with you. You know what I mean? So they could take that as respect. Okay, Clay, now he ain't fucking with us. You feel me? So he ain't fucking with us. Fuck New York. That's that. It takes that one person to do some shit that could cause a big East Coast, South beef and shit like that. I didn't know that. Some new shit I'm learning right now.
follow my career, they know how I actually really felt about like that South coming to New York and like feeling like we almost like took over the city. We ain't take over, but it feel like that. I know like K Slade, like I said, he felt like he heard too much of this shit. And it was like, I'm not going for this.
Down south niggas was taking over
I'm
at
gonna
one
say
time, early 2000s, in the mid 2000s. Down that's when the down south takeover started to happen. The Ti, you know what I mean, Ludacris, a lot of the southern rappers start to take over. Nelly, you feel what I'm saying?
Say
Like,
something, and let's really go through the
well,
timeline.
well, Nelly ain't really south,
Everybody
but
could say New York started.
still country.
I mean, hip hop started in New York. LA had its run. New York had its run, but Atlanta might have the longest run in
Exactly,
a region,
exactly.
nonstop.
That's a fact.
Like New
but I was
York
gonna
had
say,
its run, then it stops and go. But like Atlanta, straight across the board, might have had the longest run in hip
but I
hop.
always, like I said, I always wanted, like I said, I started out a kid in New York, and chill out, brick me,
Yeah.
red alert, brick me with my first group. So I always, what you mean brick you? Like that we ain't playing that bullshit. Like that nigga said like that, like get the fuck
So we
out of
ain't
here
playing
with
that
that, right?
Atlanta
So like
bullshit,
I always wanted
nigga.
my music to be
So we
heard
ain't
in New
playing
York.
that
This
country
is what I
bullshit,
thought. Like
nigga.
I mean, this is just the home of rap, right?
Yeah.
You out here Clue. I mean, I've been, you know what I mean, like.
I always play Josh.
No, I ain't saying you not doing it. I'm just trying to make sure that like the viewers understand like how long I've been running around this city trying to put music out. I mean, just put
Since
me.
like the '90s, you know what I mean? I've been fucking with him since Crisscross, since Jump. Crisscross to make you. You know what I mean? That's early 2000s, like what, 92 or some shit like that, 93.
Took out period and just being in the mix of like New York. Like it's crazy. Like Biggie was at my house and we was doing the Big Papa remix, and it was in my house on fumes. He was gonna kill Clue. Told me,
About when Clue
God, he was at
directed.
my
Oh, you
house.
was there for
He
that.
was at my house talking about this named Clue. He was like, "This is New York running around." He called himself the question mark man. I'll catch this. I'm gonna kill this.
Yo,
Imagine
Clue
being able to
funny as
build
hell, yeah.
anything for any reason,
Yo, Clue
in any
funny as
style,
hell.
at any scale.
Hold on, Clue funny as hell. Hold
I say, yo,
He went on the radio. Did you know
nah, I
that?
tell you,
That nigga
yeah,
made Clue the biggest. I mean, he was. Oh, but we didn't know about it. I didn't know about it.
nah, Big was
That's
at
what I'm
my
saying. I ain't
house.
no shit
It
about
was
that.
at
Big
my
came
house.
on the
So
freaking
Clue, he leaked that shit. See, there's some new shit we all finding out right now.
radio and was looking for Clue.
Nah, he was at my house. He was mad as a mother.
The crazy part is, they say he was looking at me. There's half they staff lived in my neighborhood. They know where I lived at. They never pushed
Yeah,
up on
but
me.
he was the question mark man. He was like, it was very much like some real cartoon comic books.
Nobody knew
I was like,
what
this kid that y'all talking about? Two. I'm like, oh, okay, all
Yeah,
right.
when I heard they had me running around on
Blues
Stand
Clues
Time,
type
that's what
nigga. He said, "Who the fuck is Clue, nigga? Blues Clues and shit, nigga. Leaving clues."
I had to
Hey
be
yo,
like, let me tell you, they gonna kill you. I was running around that.
Nah, yeah, that
oh
nigga was
shit.
mad as, and I was like, over a mixtape? He's like, yes, got put my song out. I was like, all right, well, listen.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that I'm just letting y'all know, like how much of this I've been intertwined with all of this, and yeah. So Atlanta, Atlanta when rappers come out, like when they come out, they really be rapping. Like say for instance Ti, right? The Ti come out rapping. New York wouldn't always give Ti like, oh, he's super lyrical. It'd be like he a southern rapper.
They like, man, he alright. You know what I mean? He alright. I always fuck with Ti. I thought when Ti came out, he was dope, ludicrous. All those southern rappers, I always gave respect for. I always thought they had lyrics and their topics was dope, in my opinion. You know what I mean? But I know when you fucking with like, Brooklyn and all that shit's a little different. You know what I mean? Their views might be a little different than mine, but I'm coming from just across the bridge, Jersey style. You feel me?
He's southern rapper. He's a cool southern rapper as opposed to like just like loving him for being a rapper. Like we ain't never like look at Fab and be like, yeah, that's one of them Brooklyns. It's just like that. That's Fab. That's nice.
I'll say this though. Like before he like really shot up, right? This was 2009, 2010. I'm in Atlanta,
That's what I'm saying.
Yo Gotti's doing the press run. And I'm not understanding the impact of Yo Gotti. And I'm like, what do y'all see in him? And I'll never forget what the Southern said. What do y'all see in Mano? And I was like, okay, this is ours. The same way y'all look at Mano, that's how we gonna look at it in the South. Like, what do y'all see? So a regional thing looks one way, but once you go past that,
where you was in Memphis?
No, I was in Atlanta.
Oh, he ain't from Atlanta.
No, I know he was doing a press run, but that's still the South, though.
Yeah,
that's still the South. Gonna be like
they said the whole South.
Nah, it's just I think like I said, I feel like a lot of the people come from like it's always been an Atlanta, New York thing. I don't know why.
I never knew
the
that.
Braves and the Yankees went.
Everybody gets New York, AD. Everybody.
I don't do that.
New York thing. It's a Miami, New York thing. It's a Canada.
I mean, y'all. Listen, but by the way, look how you acting right now. This is what it is. You New York, start doing this. A lot. So I did T.I.'s first sample tape for this. I did Usher's first sample tape. Mm-hmm. So like Atlanta, they did Rick Ross joint too. When Rick Ross they I mean man, but like I feel like they just got like a chip on their shoulder in Atlanta. Like they feel like we don't accept them, but I feel like New York they for everything. I mean, I listened to you. I had to deal with that so much because like when I started bringing
so right now, y'all just tapping in. I'm checking out this interview with Jermaine Dupri on Bad Few talking about the Atlanta New York beef, a problem that they had. I didn't even know they had. You know what I mean? That existed since like the early 2000s, maybe not even the 90s. Actually, he talked about I guess like the 90s. Jermaine Dupri talking about.
The DJs in Atlanta on my head, like what with these New York. I had Kid Capri come do a party, and then we had a DJ crew in Atlanta called the Super Friends with Mars. Yeah. Shout out to they're right, but they this crew in Atlanta, and they was like, JD, you keep doing all the biggest parties in the city, but you keep using these New York. So I feel like that's just like it's just been a thing like that. So with that energy, I just wanted to make sure to bring it all the way back. I wanted me and Puff to be in a video basically in the same song and doing that. And I wanted Puff to actually put all the New York energy out there. So we started talking about like, yo, get on top of Madison Square Garden. You're like, yo, they ain't no permits, by the way. You just up there going. Yo, cool. Just guerrilla style, man. Guerrilla style.
It was crazy. That video's so many years ago, and y'all both still look the same. I
just want to play that shit real quick, y'all, because I never really knew that there was really tension with Atlanta and New York. Like I do know New York is a real difficult place to get a stamp from. You know what I mean? And especially like I said, that something that they touch based on, which is true. Like the East Coast ran hip hop for a long time, then the West Coast took over, then down south like got a fucking hold on fucking hip hop for so long. They still kind of do. You feel me? And once in a while you might get a New York, Jersey artist that might pop for a little bit, then they boom, something happens to them where you don't hear them no more. You feel me? So they're right when it comes to down south having a longer stretch. when it comes to hip hop. Not saying they took over, but they, they've been running shit for a long time. Hey, you can't really think of a real New York artist right now that's doing real big numbers because everybody keep getting fucking locked up. New York or Jersey artists. And we got Abiyahu from Jersey, but like they still sometimes don't put Abiyahu on the mainstream shit, even though he dope as shit. You know what I mean? But he from Jersey. So I know that when it comes to Jersey, I know like there's a lot of Jersey artists that don't get shot because we're from Jersey, and Treach from Naughty by Nature talked about that shit too. That they used to try to ban us, from being from Jersey. We used to get banned a little bit when it come to hip hop. They didn't look at us like a part of New York and shit like that. They looked at us like, y'all niggas like, you know what I mean? Who popping over there? I mean, we got lots of niggas popping. Lauren Hill, Queen Latifah, Naughty by Nature. Like, don't the list go on? Frank Sinatra, I think from there. It's mad people. So I'm just like, yo, it's hella people that's really from Jersey that you'd be surprised from. But we ain't never get the respect though. But this beef between Atlanta rappers in New York, I never knew that they were trying to build some kind of. That's the same shit they did with the West Coast and the East Coast, when they tried to the East Coast West Coast beef, which was fake. They were trying to do the same shit with Atlanta and New York, and I did not know that till I actually checked out this interview. So I wanted to play that interview right now because I'm like, yo, I never knew that there was Atlanta and New York beef. I always respected Atlanta rappers. Ti, Ludacris. I always respect people that came from the South. You would think I always fuck with their music. I always fans of Ludacris and Ti and shit like that. And everybody that came from the South, Young Bloods, all of them. I always fuck with all of them growing up. So I didn't know that there was tension there, but it seemed like there was tension. They were trying to beef with him, but I'm glad that Jermaine Dupri kind of stopped that shit in me before it started to get too crazy. No, Outkast. I'm real big fan of Outkast. You dig what I'm saying? So yeah, what I mean? Let me know y'all opinions in the comments when y'all replay this video back. Let me know if you knew that there was a down south or New York East Coast kind of problem. Let me know if y'all was aware of this. I wasn't. Like I said, this was quick ass live. I might do a few more quick lives like this. Like I said, I need to start building up a little audience over here. But definitely check out my short videos. I'm dropping at least like a short or two maybe like two shorts a day. I try because one of my shorts ain't really doing no numbers uh like it should do. Did like a Marvin Gaye song that didn't really pop like it should on the short side though. But let's see if it can build some traction up. I put out another song that's doing okay, BB King song. Um, you feel me? The drill is gone and shit like that. So they check that out. Old school. I think it came out 1969. BB King, one of the best jazz playing. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to do old school hits right now. I'm on the old school wave right now, but I might put some newer school shit on there. Like I said, I still gotta check out the new Clips album. Maybe I'll put some of there if I'm able to. If it's inside this hard drive when it comes to YouTube, and it ain't copywritten, maybe I can see how I feel about some of these songs and put it on here eventually. Yeah, it's a couple artists I'm fucking with right now. You know what I mean? So I'm doing my music shit. I got a couple interviews I might want to go back and replay and shit. That like I said, Ja Rule did one, the Clips did one with and Jada and Joe podcast. Maybe we'll replay little clips, not the whole interview, but maybe those certain clips that I think should be heard. I might play on here. I don't know if they're gonna copyright. I mean, you know how it is when you play other people's shit. You should get copywritten and all that shit. So I'm not trying to really get copywritten though. But my page ain't monetized right now, so don't really matter. I'm just trying to build a little audience and a little conversation about stuff. Right now, we talk about the Atlanta, New York problem that I didn't know. Like I said, I didn't know that there was even a problem. But like they say on Blast Food, there's always a problem with anybody from New York. New York got a problem with everybody. It's just, I guess it's that East Coast swag that they got. I don't like when my computer get hot and shit like that. I mean more scared of all these wires that shit I got around me. My shit catching on fire. So I never, I don't know how y'all is, but when I leave my house, I never keep anything plugged the fuck in. I make sure everything's off, all my lights is off. I don't make sure no outlets is plugged in. Like I'm so scared of something catching on fire, but I be all plugging every fucking thing in this bitch. Especially in my room. I unplug a lot of shit because I don't like that shit. Yeah, love baby, that's a fact. Yeah, I appreciate you, kicking it to the live. hopefully soon. Like I said, a lot of people don't know I'm live back on this page because there was like 6, 7 months, maybe like 6 months. I really wasn't doing anything on this page. Um, but yeah, I'm back with this, having fun with it though. I see where it goes. When it comes to this page, definitely trying to build up. There's a couple other pages I'm trying to get my name out more when it comes to this page. A lot of people, some people know me from my sport page. I was doing my sport page for a little bit, then I stopped. I might get back into my sport page more when football season pops off. Um, we got the summer league with basketball, but I don't really feel like tracking that shit really. I get back into football. I got tired. I was doing basketball for a while, so I'm actually waiting for football, and I'll get back into the Jersey Rich Sport Talk page. But right now, I'm just fucking with my music page for a while. Everything music related. What I mean, brand related, whatever. Might be on this platform, interview related type shit, new album releases, might even do like new movies coming out, shit like that. Just good conversations over here. That's what it's gonna be like. Um, I definitely, like I said, I got some ideas for some shorts, maybe like little fake. I ain't gonna call it documentaries, but little maybe updates about artists and I'm thinking about doing like a little thing about like different songs that came out. Maybe like I said, I did BB King, right? So maybe I'll do some shit where I talk about BB King briefly in one of my 3 minute short. You know what I mean? There was maybe like two or three of his bigger hits and what he was doing at that time. Little shit like that. Just something quick. You know what I mean? See how I could play that out. But yeah, that's about it though. I mean? That's about it. YouTube, like I said, I do like quick ass lives, so about like 20 minutes, less than a half hour lives. Maybe I'll come back live again today, and like I said, maybe I'll either do like the Ja Rule, like little clips of that Ja Rule interview, because he had some good subjects that he was talking about, or even like the clips. Maybe I'm gonna do both, but I don't know if I'm gonna do it today or tomorrow and shit like that, though. But some little, I want to get some people thoughts on like little pieces of the interview. Um, I need to hashtag it a little bit more too. Maybe I get my hashtags up a little bit and maybe I start putting like little thumbnails or something. But I don't know how I'm gonna do it yet though. But need to start building a little audience up in here so I can start having conversations. Because everything is about conversation. Like I said, I didn't know that there was even an Atlanta, New York beef. So I really got my hip hop heads in here. People be like, yeah, I knew about that, blah blah blah, and shit like that. You feel me? People have more in their opinions about certain stuff. It'll move the chat more. Like I said, the conversation is gonna be here. I got the conversations how I kind of want to do this page. It took me a while, with me fucking with this page. It took me a while to be like, okay, this is how I kind of want to do my page now. You know what I mean? But like I said, I'm somebody that wrote music since middle school. I actually got my music on this page too. You can check out my EP that I released probably like what 3 years ago now. You can check out my EP. Might be even close to 4 years. It's around the same time my grandma passed away. I released this. Listen, before she passed away, I recorded it, but it came out like the same time my grandma passed away is when it really dropped. When it dropped, where it was everywhere on like any social media. It was on play during my grandma's like I think a week is when it dropped. Um, yeah, probably like close to like 3 or 4 years ago now. You dig what I'm saying? But yeah, yo, I'm about to get a body here. I appreciate you, love baby, for tapping in. Like I said, we need to bring an audience, share this out. You know what I mean? Tell some people Jersey Rich be live. I appreciate it. You did. Hopefully you have a blessed one. Like I said, I'm probably gonna be dropping some more short videos. Check out my shorts. Go hit that like button. Yeah, like I said, a lot of my content gonna be on my shorts. That's where you're gonna get my content at. You feel me? Like a lot of my content is gonna be on my short videos. And you'll get some little shorts here. You'll get some little live videos here and there, but I ain't really like somebody that's gonna be live to entertain you like that. It's me going live. This is mostly getting a chat opinion about certain shit. But if I don't have a big audience, then what I'm trying to do don't work yet. It's about getting people's opinions about certain stuff. A lot of my shit's about people's opinions. You know what I mean? So yeah, we'll catch on with the live shit like that though. But pay attention to my shorts. You did. I appreciate you hitting that like button. Show some love to the platform. I've been on for about half hour, so that's way more than I wanted to do. But I will stay on longer when I get more of a crowd. Maybe I could do an hour live or something like that when I'm ready for it. Facts, facts, facts. Yeah, I'm gonna be putting some more short videos. So it's definitely gonna be some more content coming today on the page. But check out my BB King and my Marvin Gaye thing I did on my shorts. I appreciate it. Everybody, y'all have a good one. We out.